The first group of letters are the curly caterpillar letters, and they're all based on the letter C. So if you get that one right, all the rest should follow on. The letter C starts in the middle of the line, curls around, and it just touches the bottom. We start in the middle and curve down. We're not starting at the bottom and curving up. We want to start in the middle and curve round, and you'll see why in just a second. If you've got that C spot on, move on to the letter A. It curls round in the C shape, and then we go up and down. And you can see now why it was important we got the C in the right direction. C shape, up, down. C shape, up, down. You can see they're not huge letters, they don't reach the top of the line, they're about halfway up. If you can do an A, you can do the letter D. It's that C shape again, but this time we go all the way up and all the way down. C shape, all the way up, all the way down. C shape, all the way up and all the way down. The trick here is stretching that hand up to the top to reach the next line. That can be difficult, so keep practicing. If you can do the letter D, you can have a go at the letter G. So that's C shape again, but we come up and now we go down under the line and curve around. It doesn't go all the way down to the bottom of the next line, it's about halfway. C shape, up, down, curve under. C shape, up, down, curve under. If you're confident with the G, you can have a go at the Q. It's that C shape again, but we go up, down, and flick. C shape, up, down, and flick. And again you can see that we're not going all the way down to the next line. It's somewhere about halfway. These are our descender letters that hang underneath the line. If you're happy with those ones so far, have a go at the letter O, but make sure you start in the right direction. So make sure it starts again with that C shape, and then you just keep going round. Don't be tempted to go the other way. When we start to join our letters together, that will make it much more difficult, so you need to get it right now. C shape, and carry on. C shape, and carry on. If you're really happy with the letter O, you can have a go at the letter S. Again, we're starting somewhere in the middle, and we're curving our way down. We want it to sit on the line, and we want it to be small. Keeping an S quite small with those curves can be tricky, so keep practicing. Curving our way down. It should be sitting on the line, and it should only be about halfway up. If you're happy with the S, have a go at the letter E. It starts somewhere in the middle again. We're going to curve round, back, and just touch the line at the bottom. Don't be tempted to go the other way and start at the bottom. Again, when we start to join our letters together, that won't be helpful. Start somewhere in the middle, curve around, back, and come down to the line. And if you're happy with all of those letters, you can have a go at the letter F. It's a slightly tricky letter because it's a tall letter, an ascender, that goes all the way to the top, and it's a descender, which means it hangs underneath the line. It does both. So watch carefully. We're going to start just underneath the line and curve over, down, and under. So you can see we've gone all the way up to the top of the line, but it's also hanging below the line. And the crossbar on the F is not going to go down here on the line. You want it somewhere in the middle. So we'll start just under the top, over, down, under. Put your crossbar on, somewhere under the top, over, down, under, and your crossbar. And again you can see with those descenders, just like the G's, they're not all the way down to the next line, it's somewhere about halfway. So let's look at those letters in a little bit more detail. We've got the C, which starts in the middle of the line, curls around, and just touches the bottom of the line. Starts in the middle, curls around, and just touches the bottom. Making sure that it's not too tall, otherwise it's going to start touching the line at the top, and that's not what we want to see. The next one was the A, curls around and then just comes up and down. Curls around and comes up and down. And just try and make sure when we're doing all of these letters that they're sat on the line. It's quite a little tricky skill to get that, so make sure you keep working on that one until they're all sat beautifully on the line and not floating away. The D was the same as the A, but this time we go all the way up and all the way down. The G was a little bit different, so we'd curl around with our C shape again and come up, but this time we come down, through and curl under. C shape, up, down, through and curl under. And we're remembering that that tail only goes about halfway down the next line. It's not going all the way down to the bottom. Otherwise, when you start to write on the line underneath, it'll start to interfere. The letter Q is very, very similar again. So we'd make that C shape, and we'd come up, down, but this time flick this way. C shape, up, down, and flick. C shape, up, down, and flick. The O, we just needed to make sure that we're going the right way around. So we start with that C shape and then just keep going. Start with that C shape and keep going. Start with that C shape and keep going. Make sure it's not going the wrong way. It will be really important when we start to think about precursive and cursive writing that the letters are all formed in the right direction. The letter S starts in the middle again and we just curve down, and the trick here is to try and make sure A, that we start here in the middle, and B is to keep it nice and small. The temptation with these is, because they're quite sort of fiddly, is to make them a bit bigger to make it easier. That's fine to start with, but as you practice, you should get smaller and smaller until they're only about half the size of the line. The letter E is going to start somewhere here in the middle. We're going to curve around and flick forwards. There might be a temptation to start at the bottom and go that way, but again, when we start to think about cursive writing and precursive writing, that's not helpful. So keep it formed in the right direction. Start somewhere in the middle, curve around, and finish off. And again, there's a bit of practice it takes here to get these to sit nicely on the line, so keep working on that one. And the last one in this group is the letter F. We're going to start just under the top here, curve over, down, and under. And again, it's only come about halfway down that line, it's not all the way down to the bottom. Put a little crossbar on somewhere in the middle of this main line, over, down, and back under. Over, down, and back under. And those are all of our letters for the Curly Caterpillar set.